this is What You Waiting For, a woman's perspective on camping and survival. And today I just wanted to let y'all in, you YouTubers, on our 3-year plan and let you know what's going on in our life. Um, First of all, we have bought some land about 20 minutes from here. It's just this very small 5-acre plot of land. It's pretty much has nothing. It has a small pond it's a very small. It dries out in the summer, but when it rains, it fills up. We have a few trees on it, and that's pretty much it. We were looking for land probably the past maybe 4 or 5 years, and we've been having a lot of problems finding land close to us that we like. We're very close to the oil fields because we're up here in East Texas. And so all the property, we have actually put bids on several, and we had to, bow out because when they did survey, they either found too many pipelines in there or they found that there was no access to the property. So there are several lands that sort of slipped out of our hands. And this doesn't have any oil at all onto it. It was, in fact, a portion of a larger farm, but the family is selling 2 5-acre lots off of the ends of it. So we are in that middle section. But anyway, getting back to our 3-year plan. We're making it 3-year because my middle daughter does not want to graduate from the other school district, and she graduates in 3 years. So we told her pretty much, you have to graduate in 3 years because we're moving, with or without you. Well, definitely with her, but but she has to graduate within those 3 years. If not, she's going to have to move with us to the other school district. But in these 3 years, it's giving us a time to plan. This year it has nothing, so we had to put a driveway. We're still working on that. That didn't even have access to it. We had to cut a gate, a place for a gate. We've already put up a gate. We put one fencing along the side. Um, we have plans this year to start putting fruit trees. We've bought a few. We have not put it on the property yet. We are babying them here in their buckets because the heat is just outrageous here in East Texas right now, and we do not have water on the property. So our water is from a pond, and we bought a few 55-gallon buckets with the spigots that we do every time we go down there. We fill up our aquatainers, 7-gallon aquatainers, take a few of them, we have 3 of them, and dump them in there, so that gives us a little bit of water, on the property. But that's pretty much it. So we have no main water source yet. That's another thing we're going to do this year. But we're wanting to, we have these trees to plant because we know that most trees take about 3 years before they really start producing. So we wanted to start some this year, some next year, the next year after that. And that way, if we are expecting a lot of failure on the property just because of Murphy's Law. Whenever it comes to us, anything that can happen will happen to us. So we are expecting that if we plant peach trees, we expect that half of them die. So that'll give us a few years to be able to replenish and learn from our mistakes. We're also wanting to this year to build some raised beds. I would like to transplant some of the strawberries that I have in buckets that I have here before the end of the season, and then put straw over them during the winter. See how they do. See if they survive. I'd like to do the same with some perennial herbs because I like my herbs. So I'd like to start doing that. We also have a loquat tree here, and I want to learn how to make a cutting of it or whatever I have to do that I could start another loquat. and put it over there. I did have a fig tree at my other house that we had before here, and I brought it here, transplanted it. It started growing and it died. And we have no idea. We think maybe somebody put insecticide in our backyard before we came here, because we also put corn. Nothing grew in that area that we did it. We put squash this year. Nothing grew, but the other places we put squash, they're just wonderful now. So we think maybe they sprayed insecticide or something. We think something's odd there. But anyway, we'd like this year to do those things. Next year, we want to have a full-fledged garden out there, because by next year we should have the water. We'd like to get a nice tractor, used, of course, but be able to buy a tractor. And we also want to start next year, start a small metal barn that we can transform into our transition house. After we sell this house, we're going to move out there in the transition barn. And then after a house is built for us, then we'll move to a main house. But the transition barn will be used after we build a main house. It'll be used mostly like if our kids decide not to move out when they're, 21, 22, or if they decide to move back in for some reason, which we've had that happen, we will have like a small visitors house for them. And if not, if my husband ever gets angry at me, get out. I'm just joking. um, but anyway, those are our 3-year plans. In the meantime, we're trying to figure out our skills. We're going to do experiments. Like we started potatoes this year. That's an experiment for, so when we move, we'll have experience. Next year, we're going to start a lot more gardening, big, size gardening. And we're going to be doing a lot more experimenting of what works, what doesn't. I want to learn a lot of new skills. We want to have goats. So I need to learn how to milk a goat. I never have, because I'd really like the dairy goats. My husband likes the eating goats, but I like the dairy. We also want to get more into preserving food. I know how to can, but I've never done pressure canning. I've never canned like green beans, vegetables. I've only done the fruit and the jellies and the pickling. So I really want to get those skills. So as we're learning these skills, if it's something new to me, I might bring you along, and say, hey, this is what I'm learning. This is how it worked. This is how it didn't work. I'm thinking that our potatoes in a bucket is a no good, because every time I go out there, they're looking deader and deader. But you'll never know until it's harvest time. So anyway, I hope to bring you along our journey. And what you waiting for? Bye.